alcoholic is just a mindset. It's not my fault I like having fun. It's not my fault I like having fun. How y'all doing, chat? How y'all doing? I hope you having a good day and an even better day now that your boy's here. Because look, we're chilling, kicking back, and really getting down to the nitty gritty of it. Because it's Wednesday afternoon, first of the month, baby. I hope you just rocking it. Because look, it's another 90 days till the end of the year, chat. 90-day countdown. Any misconceptions, any bullshit you holding on to, let it go. Because at the end of the day, I need you to have that no nut mentality when No Nut November shows up. This is the 30 days you gotta goon practice. Look, we got 30 days to lock in for real. You get the ultimate goon on Halloween, the spookiest goon on Halloween, and then after that, you go 30 days No Nut November. Cause look, that's dedication, that's straight discipline, and I'm low-key holding it down this year. I'ma try it, bro. I don't know. I feel like gooning is top priority right now, and I really think that could be put into writing and getting better set material, to be honest. So, goon behavior needs to definitely be improved in 2026, because big 2025, we tried to improve our gooning behavior, especially now that in Texas, now they got you uploading your ID to goon properly. That's so crazy. We can't goon in peace anymore. But, it's okay. It's low-key an addiction. It's low-key a problem if you're gooning once a day. You're low-key an avid gooner. That's low-key in the future. I feel like when you go see your primary doctor, he's going to ask you if you a daily gooner or not. Are you a part-time gooner? How long have you been gooning? How many years exactly? It's going to be like when motherfuckers used to smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. Yeah, I goon a fucking solid hour. What do you do first thing in the morning? I goon. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I feel like the way the technology is nowadays, bro, it's so hard to not goon. You go on Instagram, the first thing you see is big, fat, booty Latinas, bro. How are you gonna not get triggered and get into that ultimate quantum goon zone? You're definitely going to want to get in that quantum goon zone as soon as you see that gigawatt, bro. You feel that fucking thunderclap, I feel like all of us have built that fucking Instagram brick by brick, that homepage built brick by brick, Only the dankest of memes, only the corniest of corn videos, I don't know. I feel like I'm not as much on Twitter as I am on Instagram. So Instagram really is, peak goon material. Because as soon as you see that bitch in fucking Dubai and you're like, there might be a link tree involved here. They talk, oh my God, my vacation, third time this month. Oh, let's go ahead and try out that link tree. Everybody got a link tree and where that be linking us to, So at the end of the day, I feel like that's not really something you can blame, these online, thoughts for, but because, we are participating in it, The goon community is contributing. Chat, look. If you think it's only a one-sided problem, you are the problem. Because it's clearly, they're making, obviously, the goonest of materials, but somebody's paying for that goon material. So at the end of the day, are they wrong for just providing a need that's, serviceable? Bro, during COVID, that goon material is what kept people alive, The peak of goons was COVID 2020, bro. Like 2020 was peak gooning. Like that's the ultimate goon year, bro. And there were some goon Hall of Famers out there, just going at it for hours, listen, when you find in the right video and you about 53 pages in, brother, you are in too deep. Lock in. So I hope you're having a good day and an even better day now that your boy's here. Get you a good hydration drink because we're getting started tonight a little late. 9 fucking 30? Look, it's a Wednesday and listen, I didn't end up having to go to Quinlan's no more. I'm a low-key start a Quinlan's podcast from the OG Quinlan gang, bro. Look, I'm gonna ask the boys if they're trying to fucking make the Quinlan's mic for the 6 months that I was there. That was peak comedy for me. Like, I feel like that was a place that you learned so much and really built a structure, right? So I'm gonna see if I can start like the Q podcast. I don't know, the big Q. The thing is, bro, I just want to create content and get that out there. So maybe if I start an OnlyFans and even get the gooning market, I'm kidding, chat. Look, last night I went to a fucking open mic in McKinney, bro. The comedy arena. I needed that. I needed that L, chat. Look, at the end of the day, my biggest problem is it's a different crowd. I need to get better at that. It's a different crowd. I got, the urban crowds down. The inner city crowds are locked in. It's these bougie, higher than die comedy types, that I have to appease to, because I don't go joke for joke, bar for bar. Those are like, I'm more of a Drake type vibe where it's like, more melody, more, stage presence and really putting that quantity out there. Whereas there's the Kendrick types that are, lyrical, miracle, like satirical, satirical. I don't know. I'm not that. I'm more storyteller. Let's get to it. I know some of you motherfuckers that are talking about, hey, Kendrick is a storyteller. I'm not saying that now. We're talking about, yes. But the way Drake tells stories versus Kendrick, is different. It's for a different audience, low key, So that's all I'm getting at is I'm trying to change the way I'm attacking the stage when it's a different type of audience. I'm used to, the ratchet, the lit crowd that will fight back and yell and go back and forth. But then when there's a crowd that they're just like, what is going on? Why the fuck? Like, they're low-key quiet. They're not really, trying to do nothing. They're not really trying to talk to you. They're just letting you do you. And plus, I'm getting there literally last minute, bro. Apparently, they moved the mic a little earlier. They're doing a whole new system. They hired a few new people over there. So I think they might be really going up. I don't know. The money might be good. They hired a few new people that I've never seen before, So I'm assuming they're doing good on the show. So they're changing up the times and getting a little bit earlier. And I'm like, low key. I don't know if I can get there earlier because it is like an hour earlier and I'm always like there at like 10:30. It's hard to get there early. But I'm going to try. So this time I went there, I was like, 2 people away from getting on. I didn't know that. I was low key not ready. I was sitting down. I was like, let me just go ahead and write it. I should have just looked at the board. The fucking names were scratched out. That's on me. I was not prepared, but I got up on stage. I was low key getting there late, and I did not think I was gonna be able to get on just because I realized they're starting early. I didn't read the full paragraph in the group chat, so it is on me. But listen. When I got there, I was like, sir, please give me at least 3 minutes, and I got that. I literally was like, sir, please spare me some minutes on stage. That's like low-key begging for, spare me some coochie. But he was nice enough to give me, time on stage. So I'm always happy for that. If I get 1 minute or 3 minutes, I'm blessed, I just need to be on stage. I need to express these emotions, So I was able to try some new bits, even though they were not ready. Half the shit I do at open mics is not ready. It was pretty good. Other than, some of the shit was a little coming off strong. In the 3 minutes that I had it was coming off strong. And I'm not going to lie, it did take a toll on me taking that fat L. Because I like to switch up rooms. Because, bro, I feel like some people get comfortable and they go to the same room because they know they're going to get a killer set. I try not to go to rooms that are going to expand my fucking inflated ego. I don't like going to rooms that I'm killing at because I need to test this theory at a different mic and make sure that I'm doing as good as I'm doing. Because, bro, sometimes when you're writing, it might be funny as fuck at one crowd and you go to the next crowd and it's like, oh, it's offensive. I mean, you can maybe mix it up in a different story and make it a little bit more, a little bit easier on the crowd, but half the time, bro, some of those vulgar stories are a little too vulgar for the white crowd. What can I say? I'm not trying to be racist, but look, different type of crowds, But yeah, I feel like the wilder crowd, the more suburban crowd, the urban, more inner city crowd is more my vibe. When I get around these white folks, I can't handle it. I don't know. They don't like me. I had 2 white ladies sitting in the front judging me. They couldn't see the art. I don't know. Maybe they did, and I was just bombing because I did not think I was gonna be that bad. Like I did good for a little bit. I had few. I'm good. My body wouldn't let me cap like that. I fucking bombed. Fuck, damn it. Yeah, it was good. I got a few laughs, but I low key in my mind that was a bomb compared to the last few shows I've done. I'm not gonna lie. It was a few bombs. Because there was so many times where I've had time to write bits, but I don't get them into stories. I have one-liners right now. I need to expand them into bigger stories. Because, like I said, I have a solid 10, 15, whatever I used to do at Quinlan's for the 6 months I worked on it. It was solid. But now I need another 15 that's a little separate so I can put that together and maybe get a 20. Because that 15 plus 15 is low-key a 30, but that 30 cannot be stretched like that. You got maybe a 20-minute set. Because half of those shits I have to take out because if it's like a clean mic, I can't do at least 10 minutes of that. But that's my most solid 10 minutes. So that's why I'm like trying to get to more sets that are more, calmer. They don't put up with that much bullshit because I need to practice. Honestly, that's all it is. I need to practice. I've been in crowds of 1. I've been in crowds of 3. I need to get in crowds of more than like 10 people just so I can work some shit out. And like people that don't, put up with bullshit. Because I need to be able to hit that joke after joke. Because that's the only way I'm going to learn. When I get on stage and actually do bar for bar rather than let's act it out. Because when you're just acting it out and doing what's it called? Improv. It only works so much, right? It's a bad habit. Joey Diaz talks about this all the time. He's like, bro, you don't want that. I mean, sure, you want that muscle strong. Live in the moment, but don't just constantly go up there unpracticing. Don't do nothing. Don't do, no writing. And I feel like the last few mics I've been able to bullshit off because they were a lot of urban mics and they talk, with you, so it kind of leads into another additional 10 minutes. That would not work at a white crowd that is ready to just listen and let you do what you want to do. Because they're like, where is the actual vocab? Where is the actual, content, substance, And that's where I feel like I need to work is get that substance up and be able to provide that additional story. And, that only comes with writing if you're around fucking motherfuckers that are killers and are able to show you how to write properly. Because, bro, sometimes I see people that are, not as funny, but better writers. Just because funny can be, you scare somebody and they laugh, right? But somebody that's lyrical, miracle, lyrical, terrical, satirical, and word for word getting you bar for bar, Like that's why I like watching rap battles because it's kind of like you kind of yeah I don't know how they do it. It's just like it's like doing like gratata. It's like a shootout with words. It's crazy. I like that. I sort of got. I'm so tired of these allergies. These allergies are getting to my soul, brother. But look, tonight, we're just going to get into the classics. Y'all know me, the truth about Area 51. Because look, we all know the government is not telling us something. And, I want to learn from Johnny Harris, the boy himself, what he knows about the truth.
We're ready to go up the hill,
Area 51.
up the mountain to glimpse the elusive Area 51 with our own eyes.
When did you see your first disc?
The first disc I saw, I believe it was the second, or I think it was the third time I was up there. We came out, and I saw the disc in the
Chat, y'all
hangar.
think this is cap?
Upon seeing it, it struck me that, well, this explains all the UFO sightings. That this must have been some advanced form of fighter that we've been working on for years, and people have just caught it being tested, so on and so forth.
Hey, chat, y'all believe in aliens, alien McAliens? Cause I feel like there is a possibility that you can't just be like nah, because then that means you're all alone in the universe, which is sadder,
We're driving basically to the backside, is that right?
This side is where you see a cliff, and you're going up from the backside.
I see.
Johnny is a crazy driver.
Dude, with this Jeep, I feel like I'm impervious.
That is making me a little anxious.
We are arriving to Rachel, Nevada, which I looked at on the map and I was like, oh, it's like a little city. It's not a city. It's like a little settlement in the middle of nothing. You can hear the sound. Wow. Oh, yeah, it's just up there freaking cruising. Turning left and right. Here's another one.
Just casual
Look at this
jets.
thing turn. Look at that. Oh my god.
They're just casually flying big jets.
Look, it just made a 90-degree turn. Just whoop.
Imagine you just
Who is in that
goofing and
plane
you're like,
right now?
fuck, I'm paranoid. They're on us.
Did you see
Literally
that 90
through.
degree?
Dude, that looked insane.
First contact. Oh my god, guys.
Look at where we are right now. Here next to what was once a lake, deep in the vast desert of Nevada. During World War II, the military took over huge amounts of land out here. They eventually used it to test weapons, nuclear weapons. If you were in Las Vegas in the 40s and 50s, sometimes you could see these tests in the distance.
Definitely got
Then,
radiation.
in the 1950s,
Definitely got
the
cooked.
newly created CIA had a secret project they wanted to work on, but they needed a vast tract of land where no one would see them. So they turned to the desert of Nevada, and they found this dry lake bed. It would be perfect for a runway. The CIA, a spy organization, was building an airplane.
Back in the 1950s, the chief adversary of the West was the Soviet Union. And that was a closed society, so it was not easy to find out what their military strength was, their order of battle. It was deemed that overhead reconnaissance would be the way to go.
The result was this. This is a super strange aircraft. It's called the U-2, and the thing flies high, like super high.
In the 1950s and 60s, your average airliner would be flying up 30,000, 40,000 feet. For the U-2, reaching altitudes above 60,000 feet, above 70,000 feet was truly impressive.
What does it look like when you're 70,000 feet above the Earth's surface?
From 70,000 feet, you can easily see the curvature of the Earth. It's almost like being in outer space.
So it's the 1950s and the CIA is secretly in the business of making spy planes. And they're using the U-2 to spy on the Soviets from high above, outside the reach of Soviet radar and missiles.
Military bases, infrastructure, intercontinental ballistic missile sites, rocket testing, cosmodromes where space rockets are being launched, the submarine pens, the Navy, all of it.
Thank you. Come on in. Thank you. Not very many people move into the middle of the desert, for their...
In the Nevada desert, that you can go to the perimeter and visit it, so I had to see it. So I fell in love with the desert, and I fell in love with the mystery of Area 51. I heard hollering, York Arnoux, this is the FBI, we have a search warrant. Wow. A bunch of guns drawn, pointed at me, a riot shield, people with helmets on, with bulletproof vests, full riot gear on.
All because you wanted to learn about aliens?
Fear that it was some sort of espionage effort?
They thought that I was a hardcore spy, apparently, spying on the base, maybe even for a foreign government. Who knows what they were led to believe. None of that is true. I'm a guy who runs a website.
They call him quantum gooning.
We're now learning Area 51, America's capital city for UFO sightings, is apparently real.
The reports even include a map saying the site was merely a testing location for aerial surveillance programs.
As we pass this little hill here, we're passing one of...
I doubt they still have stuff there now, just because how many people know about it. But it is a lot of land.
The road sensors, and right now that sensor...
And in Fallout New Vegas, they had something similar where in order for you to find the Brotherhood of Steel, you would have to go to like 3 or 4 bunkers.
Data blip to the base.
Right,
hey, there's somebody coming.
I saw it.
Yeah, that's security.
So, it's the 50s, the U-2 spy plane is flying high over the Soviet Union, successfully evading detection and collecting intelligence of all kind. Everything was going smoothly.
Until 1960, when Frank Powers got shot down.
It's the Hall of Columns in Moscow, scene of many a previous Russian trial.
Hey, we've got your pilot, and he's talking.
And now, Francis Gary Powers, pilot of the American U-2 spy plane shot down over Russia, faced the judges with composure.
Of course, they had the wreckage of the airplane, its sensors and cameras as well, so the game was up. The CIA knew there had to be a replacement for the U-2.
The CIA headed back to the desert of Nevada to try again. This time, they would actually be building this up to be a permanent base and testing facility.
That construction project was called Project 51, and subsequently the base became named Area 51.
To replace the U-2, they developed and started testing a series of aircraft that were on a whole other level.
Orders of magnitude more advanced.
I wonder what they have now.
Other aircraft.
They gotta have anti-gravity shit. They got
these secret aircraft could... The CIA was able to keep Area 51 secret, but they had a hard time hiding these massive, otherworldly aircraft. And remember, almost everyone in the military and even the CIA didn't know about this.
How do you know that you're not being used? How do you know that you know the full story when you
Everything is highly compartmentalized. Some of them have to have a deep knowledge of what the program's about. Others only need to know certain things in order to do their specific jobs. It's all tightly controlled.
The CIA knows that their high-altitude aircraft are causing a, quote, unexpected side effect, a tremendous increase in reports of UFOs. They conclude that during this time, over half of the UFO sightings are attributed to these spy planes they're testing at Area 51. But strangely, they didn't see this as a problem. In fact, they kind of embraced it, secretly feeding the rumors that these could be extraterrestrial visitors. One engineer called the UFO sightings a, quote, bonus, a useful distraction for a program
What
that...
is it, Project Bluebeam or something? It's like they'll say that an alien invasion is coming so they can make a one world government.
In order to remain useful, must remain secret. But the CIA also used the rise of UFO sightings to study human behavior, to use the public as their guinea pig, testing how mass perception can be shaped and manipulated.
I absolutely do believe that there is a PSYOPs program going on where they want to throw something out there and see what comes back. How do people react to it? I know from stories that I've been told from most and that they are subjected to as guinea pigs, if you will.
But soon the Soviets caught up, And even these planes that could fly so fast and so high couldn't fly over the Soviet Union undetected. So here at Area 51, the attention turned from developing and testing these planes that could fly fast and high to testing aircraft that could disappear altogether.
So this is really the back gate of
invisibility, really?
Area 51, but today it is the most known gate of Area 51, very heavily fortified. Back in the late 90s, there was a cattle fence here, a little guardhouse, that was it. And as more tourists come here, they feel the need for more security. So we got a double gate here. Don't go past the gate. This is probably as far as we want to go.
Okay, we are at the back gate. Here it is. It's quiet. Barbed wire. We've got some cameras looking at us right now.
Guys, you want to be part of a documentary?
No drones. I will respect that. So there's a new radio tower right there, and it apparently is transmitting a radio signal that you can tune into. It is a part of an experimental program to use radio waves from like civilian radio stations to see things in the air. Passive radar is this technology. It's existed for a while, but anyway, if you tune into the right frequency, you can hear what they're playing at their radio station in Area 51. Not for people to listen to, but to test radar and aircraft. Oh, come on. That's it. This is it. That's it. Oh my God, this is amazing. If you go through this gate and walk that way, you will get to the highly secretive base where they are testing things. What is going on over those mountains?
It is about 10 or 12 miles to the turn of the Tickeroo from here.
Solos are so good. Got the wah-wah pedal going. So we are now headed to the peak, the one place where you can look into Area 51. It is a mountain, a peak up there. It's going to require a bit of a hike, some off-roading, but it is the one vantage point where you can look down and see Area 51.
Committed.
So that is our goal, and we are off on that mission right now.
He said, I'm going to make
We're in the midst of a global communications explosion.
So by the late 1970s, the CIA was trying to get out of the aircraft business.
They had satellites to do their spying with. And in fact, a satellite accidentally photographs Area 51. Something they weren't supposed to do. Whisperings of a secret airstrip in the Nevada desert are getting out. Area 51 was now under control of the Air Force, not the CIA. And they set about trying to make their planes invisible to radar. Not by flying high, but by designing them in these strange shapes. If you want to make your aircraft invisible to your enemy, you have to trick their radar, the main tool that they use to look at you. These radar are constantly pumping out invisible radio waves into the sky. If nothing's there, the waves will just keep going. But if a plane is flying by, the radio waves will hit the plane and bounce back to this dish that captures and records that signal, that radar signature. It's able to detect how big the object is, how far away it is, how fast it's moving. This is how you get eyes on enemy aircraft flying in your airspace.
We've moved into an age where stealth became more prevalent.
So how do you trick this system? You have to mess with those waves, get them to bounce off somewhere else, absorb them, scatter them, so that they barely make it back to the radar, which is how you get this. A full-scale model of a plane that they were designing, and radar scattered everywhere, shooting radio waves at this plane, collecting data on how big the radar signature is, and hoping that those radio waves aren't bouncing back to this dish. That's what these strange angles are for. The Air Force would even get their hands on enemy radar systems to see how well they could measure these stealthy planes.
There's a huge array of adversary radars that are used to measure the radar signatures of different aircraft.
And the designs just kept getting wilder and wilder.
The early stealth
Looks like
planes.
a little
Look like
Ninja
they're
Turtle,
from
bro.
out of this world. Yeah, I think it's likely that many of the things that have been tested there, if they were seen out of their context by someone who wasn't witting of the program, could easily just take it for a UFO.
And unlike the planes developed earlier at Area 51, these carried weapons, so soon they were used in combat.
The F-117A, known as the Nighthawk or the stealth fighter, became the star of Operation Desert Storm.
By the 1980s, Area 51 had become the ultimate test laboratory for the U.S. to remain the dominant air power on Earth, and secrecy was the key ingredient for keeping it that way. But secrecy has a byproduct. It kills trust. It produces speculation.
Well, there's several, actually 9 flying saucers, flying discs, that are out there of extraterrestrial origin.
Great, thanks.
Just go straight from here and follow the directions.
Okay. Thank you so much.
This is it.
I really appreciate everything.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah.
And shoot me a text when you get up there. Make sure so I can know that you guys got up there okay.
Absolutely. We will.
If you get in trouble, call me. I'll bail you out.
We are on our own.
That's a
Jordan's
real
awesome.
OG right
Website,
there,
his
bro.
project
He's
is
like,
just
I'll
his
bail you
passion,
out. That
and
boy knows what's
I am
good.
such a fan of him and his approach to all of this. All right, now we got to navigate through some gnarly
baller,
roads.
that's
I got
what
this
he-
offline GPS situation.
That's a baller,
we are going to
man,
try to
right?
make our way to that peak so we can glimpse the elusive Area 51 with our own eyes.
Wow, our own eyes.
On Capitol Hill today, a bipartisan call for more government transparency on UFOs, or as the military calls them, unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs. 3 retired military veterans testified before a House subcommittee. One was asked about alien bodies. 2 others talked about seeing UAPs.
I feel like it's a psyop.
You say that the government is in possession of potentially non-human spacecraft. Do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent?
Now that they're saying it, I feel like it's
something
like
I
psyop.
can't discuss in public setting.
Yeah, they're doing like a very psyop type vibe, you know?
This is more adventure than I expected.
That'd be cool to go on an adventure like that, bro. Look, you can go camp. You can put up a tent. That's a whole vibe.
Listen, listen. You hear a rumble. You hear it all the time around here. Oh boy. Okay, we are at over 7,000 feet, which is about 2,200 meters, maybe. The air is a little thinner. Things are getting steep and rugged and beautiful. I mean, there's a stunning view of the valley. We're
That
definitely
looks
getting...
like it's such an adventure, bro. He made a whole video with this. I'm not trying hard enough.
a lot of elevation here.
With the whole drone and everything? Wow, bro, he's putting in work.
I think that's the top right there. That's the top. It better be the top. I better be laying my eyes on Area 51 in like 20 feet. Let's do this. Woo. It's gonna be worth it.
That'd be a cool vlog to have, though.
We made it! We are on the top of Tikaboo Peak. We did it. This is sick. This is so sick.
Wow, good job, guys. You did it very well. Now glide down.
There's a rumble of sound.
It's there. You see it? Those buildings, I think.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yes. We are going to get the big long lens out, see if we can point it at Area 51. That is Area 51. You can't see it very well because the sun is setting in it. It's backlit. Look up, look up. Look at that fire just cruising. Nice.
He's doing a show for us. That's a tight turn, man.
Wow. Yeah, they're doing some practice.
I'm making U-turns.
The United States has unveiled its latest stealth bomber at a ceremony in California.
The B-21 is named in honor of airmen who carried out the surprise World War II Doolittle raid. It can carry both nuclear and conventional weapons.
We are again making it plain to any potential foe. The risk and the cost of aggression far outweigh any conceivable gains.
We're just surrounded by jets doing crazy maneuvers. I mean, I've never been a military guy, but there's a little boy inside of me right now being very much in awe of these machines up there. Yeah. And the people sitting inside of them who may or may not actually be humans. These may be AI controlled or remote controlled somehow. So who knows? Crazier. But dude, that thing turning looks so crazy. This is so fun.
We've got a scanner in case there's some activity tonight. We will hear it. We're gonna set up camp here, get some dinner started.
We are going to place them. We're gonna line up.
I think this goes on
Got
top.
the vibe.
Okay. This is where we'll be sleeping tonight. Area 51 is right there. Janet will be taking off soon. By the way, when I say Janet, I'm referring to one of these planes that flies between Area 51 and Las Vegas every day, bringing employees to and from the base.
As the operation at Watertown grew in scope, more transportation was required.
5 minutes. Will we get Janet taking off into the sunset? Boy, do we have the lens that would, if it is possible, with Podgy as the operator. This is such a surreal moment. It is like desolation and then desert, and then it's the most sophisticated aircraft technology that humans have ever invented.
Oh, I think it's taking off.
Oh,
see the jet.
Oh, yeah. Did you get a glimpse of it?
I have it. I'm recording it.
Oh, dude. Janet. There goes Janet to Las Vegas.
36 Whiskey 7000, climbing to 15,000. We're doing turn to Bugsy here on the party. Changing through. Good play, good night. Good night, Janet. 86 Whiskey. See you later.
Extraterrestrial, okay.
I took this time lapse while we were sleeping in this tent because I wanted to see if there was any activity on the base while we were sleeping. And sure enough, at around 3:26 in the morning, boom, right there, you'll see that the base lights up. These are the runway lights that come alive here at 3 in the morning at Area 51. Here it is, they're off, and then boom, they turn on. Now we're fast asleep at this point, but what this represents is a moment in time where the base comes alive, probably so that they can test something, so that people like us who are watching from the one place you can see Area 51 can't see anything. And sure enough, here in these photos, I don't see anything take off. Photo by photo, whatever took off, if anything, did so very discreetly. I'm looking real closely. Oh, keep in mind, this is taking a photo every 30 seconds. So at one point during this moment, you see a little green fleck right there, which could be something, I don't know. And then it goes away. Green fleck goes away. All of this is a reminder that Area 51 is an Air Force base that is doing what it's been doing for a lot of years, which is testing secret new technology. And that for most of its history, this place was not associated with UFOs or aliens. That's kind of a new thing.
That didn't happen until about 1989.
Former government scientist has alleged that the U.S. military is flying recovered UFOs at a secret base in the Nevada desert. The allegations about the secret facility near the Groom Mountains first surfaced on Eyewitness News last Friday.
Well, there's several, actually 9 flying saucers, flying discs, that are out there of extraterrestrial origin.
Scientist Bob Lazar says there are at least 9 of the flying saucers being tested and that they were not built on Earth.
I got to look inside and it had really small chairs and things began to click together just all too fast. Yeah, well, it's obvious it came from somewhere else other than Earth.
Lazar claimed that all of this extraterrestrial technology was being researched in a secret facility south of Area 51.
Bob Lazar's claims are the root of the modern fascination with Area 51. News media and tourists descending on the remote parts of the desert in Nevada to see flying saucers.
Did you see that move it did? No, I didn't. How
many people do you think actually saw something?
Look at it now. It came up above the same mountain. It moved around. It did a step move. It actually went
up in the air like this and hovered.
The Lazar story happened at the beginning of the internet really burgeoning, and people all across the world will know what you're talking about if you say Area 51. But the first thing they're going to think of is flying saucers.
Area 51. Officially, the government won't even admit it exists.
Take my word for it. There's no Area 51. That's not entirely accurate.
Where conspiracy theorists think the government has aliens on ice.
I mean, I'd love to see, this huge mothership, but anything's fine at this point.
Don't you have UFOs in Germany? No.
There are no reports, according to CNN, of any alien sightings.
The Bob Lazar thing, I wanted to know, first of all, I want to be around him and see if I could smell bullshit.
Did you?
And we also sent people to Area 51 to make sure there were no aliens.
Clinton said he did go right in and he did check, and there was nothing.
That's what we're instructed to say.
It's never been my thing, I have to be honest. I have never been a believer. I have people that Area 51 or whatever it is, I think it's the #1 tourist attraction in the whole country or something.
A Facebook post calling
Everybody
on people
wants-
to storm Area 51.
It's not clear the 1.1.
Everybody wants a reason we exist. So of course having aliens would be like the highest form of that reason, bro. I need something to make sense.
1 million Facebook followers who said they are going to storm Area 51 are real.
We're about to look at Area 51. We now have the sun shining on it. It's not backlit this morning, so we're going to do that. But before we do, a reminder that Area 51 is just one of many government secrets that have produced all kinds of speculation. Recently, the Trump administration released a bunch of JFK files about the JFK assassination, stuff that had been locked up in secrecy and had just been released. And in those documents, there was nothing huge revealed, nothing really changed about our understanding
trying to get
of
the aesthetic, bro.
But what it did is remind us that when the government keeps secrets, all kinds of speculation ensues. Information is so powerful, and where you get your information really matters. The reason I'm telling you all of this is because it has to do with the spot rights around all versus outlets. I'll pay for this spot feed, which because of your for the different types of outlets and credibility is such a powerful tool in today's media landscape. So I'm a big fan of Ground News. I'm so happy that they come to sponsor me, which is harder and harder to do. And it's not just me. The literal Nobel Peace Center has recognized Ground News for its impact on media literacy. Ground News is completely substantive.
Come on, bro. I thought I lost them. What the heliante?
Okay, it's like 5 a.m. Sun's coming up, and we've got a helicopter that is maybe circling around us right now? Definitely circling around us. Look at this.
This is freaky. There it is.
I think it's a goner. Wow, that is a weird looking helicopter. It has no lights on. And it just popped over and it kind of just flew around us. And I thought it was just going like somewhere else, but then it started banking around and circling us. And then it just descended deep into this valley and then back to the base. Like it definitely was just a little patrol to be like, hey, good morning guys. We see you. Yeah, so that happened this morning. Podgy, did that freak you out?
A little bit, yeah. It's like, are they gonna like hover over us and be like, get the out of here, or like give us your SD cards?
Yeah, I was getting ready to hide the SD cards. I was like, no,
some kind of like sensors around the trees or vantage points. They definitely send scouts out there to make sure like any place that's visible has like, sensors so they know anybody's that's there.
With the footage we have. Exciting way to wake up here at 5 a.m. at Area 51. The sun is rising. Soon it will hit the base and we'll get some beauty footage of the base itself. What are you seeing in there?
I'm seeing
a big ass
bunch
lens,
of
bro.
like
That's
water
a
towers.
forearm of a lens.
A big one in the middle, kind of, and then I see this like UFO shaped thing on the right that looks like it's on a pole. It's probably also a water tower.
Damn, that's a lot of.
Could just be a flying saucer.
Could just be a flying saucer.
That's got to be a lot.
Yeah, I see the runway now. That's fun.
Because if they have a water tower, that's like a lot of people living there on base.
I got more than 24 people who have come to me with bits and pieces of the story, who had worked out at Area 51 that I confirmed were out there. Security people who had seen a disc under a tarp in a hangar. Different people had worked there at different times, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, who had little pieces of the story. He said that they eventually told me that they had a live alien out there.
Oh yeah, there's a Janet.
I don't believe that they actually have any evidence, because I really don't think there is such a thing as crashed UFOs, all of that.
Yeah, it's taking off. It's taking off. It's going across the frame right now.
The Air Force initially really hated the whole UFO alien connection.
They gotta have people that stay there overnight.
It brought a lot of attention and helped shut down the work that they were doing. But eventually they sort of adopted it, kind of got in on the joke, and so now you see a lot of unit and project emblems that feature aliens and flying saucers and things like that, and they sort of embraced that mythology a little bit.
We're gonna leave our mark here on the little book at the top of Tikaboo Peak, where all the people have left their little note. What's our message to the future hikers?
Where the hell's at?
Peace and love.
Don't drop bombs on people.
Yeah, that's probably a good one, even though they're in the planes that drop the bombs.
I came here to the desert to better understand Area 51, but I'm walking away with a deeper understanding of secrecy. Secrecy, especially state secrecy, has an odd psychological weight to it. It draws not just attention, but projection, a custom lens that we all see it through.
I always like to say Area 51 is like a magic mirror. You look at it and you see whatever reflection you want to see.
It activates that old mechanism in our minds that fills in the gap with certainty, a story that helps us make sense of it all. The patriot sees brilliant engineers protecting a free nation. The skeptic sees a militaristic country, arrogant with power. The dreamer sees a gateway to other worlds. The cynic sees a lie so big that it must contain something nefarious, and the believer sees proof of the paranormal. And the curious tourist just sees an opportunity to indulge in a conspiracy theory for a few days, all while picking up some souvenirs and traveling through the beautiful high desert of Nevada. All of us look at the same chain link fence, and all of us see something different. Because they were hiding something here. They are hiding something here.
Secrecy for the last 70 years at Area 51 has been the main objective, and they got it done very well.
That's a town,
to everything,
that's
sometimes
literally
to
a whole town.
And the military and government have fueled rumors to confuse us, to distract us. And herein lies the paradox of secrecy. Secrecy may be essential to national defense, but for an open society, secrecy breeds mistrust, the very thing we need to stay secure and peaceful. Mistrust becomes suspicion, and suspicion becomes belief. And beliefs, once crystallized, are hard to dislodge.
That's a lot of buildings.
What I
thought it
feel
was only
fairly
a couple,
certain
but
of
that's
is that the U.S. Air
town worth of
Force will
buildings.
continue to develop and test all kinds of super advanced technology here on this dry lake bed. They'll do this to retain their position as the world's dominant air power. And they're making stuff now that we probably won't learn about for decades. But that part of the story isn't a mirror. The world is much less interested in that. Because at Area 51, the secrecy is the story. Sometimes bizarre, sometimes dangerous, sometimes beautiful, and nearly always confusing, which I think is exactly what the secret keepers want.
To keep you confused, W video, Mr. Johnny Harris. Johnny Harris always comes through with the dubberonis, chat, the dubberonis. He always somehow figures it out. To bring it back. Ooh, let's see what they got on the page. Okay, so we got, where are 2016 YouTubers at now? That is a good question. I have not seen why people think, ooh, the government killed Jiv Crew. That's a big one. I need to know. No wonder they made it. Jokes that launch careers. I think this one I need to know. Where are the 2016 OG YouTubers at, bro? I need to know where the hell has, fucking Leafy went. Where did all the big 2016 YouTubers go? That's the real question.
The 2016 era of YouTube had some of the craziest channels we've ever seen in YouTube history. We had drama channels that would ruin people's lives, YouTubers who would bully children in front of millions of people, and prank channels that would literally commit crimes on camera and call it a prank. So yeah, today we're going to take a look at some of the good and not so good YouTubers from this era and find out where they are today. Starting out, we got Keemstar, who is probably most known for his channel Drama Alert. However, he had a pretty interesting rise on the internet. Keemstar's first appearance on YouTube was all the way back in 2009, where someone had recorded him in a Halo lobby doing a little bit of trash talking.
I'm gonna bend your mother over my knees, shave her ass hair, roll it up in a blunt, and make you smoke it.
This video had blown up, and with Keemstar getting some unexpected recognition, he was soon asked to join the Halo trolling channel, named none other than FAG, the Federation of Asshole Gamers, which ended up being terminated. Around this time, Keemstar had also created several other channels, gaining tens of thousands of subscribers on each one. However, unfortunately for him, these channels would also be terminated for various reasons, and also considering the fact that he wasn't even allowed on YouTube in the first place. Keemstar even dabbled in live streaming, first on Blog TV, where he trolled in front of thousands of viewers before getting console banned by Microsoft. And later on a site called Battlecam, where the infamous Alex Cliphead came from.
Yo, everybody type in the chat, Alex is a stupid name.
Yeah, so times were definitely different back then. At this point, Keemstar had already made himself known as one of the most controversial figures on the internet, and with basically every company in the world against him, Keemstar's trolling era had came to an end. And that is where Drama Alert began. Originally, Drama Alert started out with Keemstar primarily covering news within the Call of Duty community. However, he still faced a problem where his channels would constantly get terminated, even after several attempts of creating new ones. At some point though, him and his YouTube partner had figured out a genius loophole which allowed him to keep uploading on YouTube as long as it's technically someone else who's running the channel, eventually creating the new Drama Alert channel on June 16th of 2014, where he would cover all sorts of news on the internet and on YouTube, with his popularity peaking around 2016. Love him or hate him, the impact that he had on YouTube was pretty crazy and definitely entertaining with all the drama that was going on, and the fact that it was Keemstar running the channel out of all people made it even funnier in my opinion. However, considering this is Keemstar, ironically a lot of drama would come from the channel itself. In the time that Keemstar was running the channel, he had said that he cannot wait to report
he was like TMZ of YouTube era, bro. He was a TMZ of YouTube.
Death of a YouTuber diagnosed with terminal cancer. He had mistakenly accused a completely innocent streamer of being a PDF file while confusing him with a completely different person, falsely accused Pyrocynical of being a PDF file, starting multiple podcasts, and got into beef with pretty much every single YouTuber on the platform. So yeah, he's definitely gotten himself into a little bit of controversy.
A lot of people did not like him. I would see him beef with so many fucking YouTubers all the time that he would pop in.
Keemstar announced that he would be retiring from YouTube sometime later that year. The final video on his channel was uploaded on April 30th of 2023, and since then, the channel has been completely abandoned. There was also a brief period where he was hosting Friday Fortnite and Minecraft Monday events around 2018 and 2019.
Completely abandoning a YouTube channel that big is crazy work.
Those were actually pretty cool at the time, but unfortunately, they did not last too long. Nowadays, he is still active on Twitter and is part of another podcast with some people that I might have to talk about in another video. There's also a Drama Alert Twitter account, which isn't even ran by Keemstar. But all in all, even though his content was very entertaining sometimes, I'm gonna be honest, he was probably one of the most toxic creators to ever touch the internet. However, if y'all do want some entertaining content that is maybe a little bit less toxic, then feel free to drop a sub. I'd greatly appreciate it. Another drama channel that a lot of y'all probably haven't heard of in a while was Scares.
Oh.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Scares here.
At one point, Scares' channel had actually overtaken Drama Alert in popularity. However, unlike Drama Alert, he was actually pretty chill and well respected within the YouTube community. Back around 2016 when he was popping off, this dude was pulling millions of views, but over time he would start to randomly disappear off of YouTube. Sometimes it was pretty much out of nowhere with no explanation. Other times he's explained that it was because of exhaustion, addiction, or even one time because his father had passed away. In 2018, he actually did a boxing match as an undercard for the KSI versus Logan Paul fight that was happening at the time. Unfortunately, he did end up losing the fight, but on the bright side, he actually had a pretty crazy weight loss transformation in preparation for the fight. So I mean, honestly, that's a pretty big win either way. The most recent upload on his channel was about 2 years ago now. However, looking at his Twitter account, he actually responded to a fan last year replying that he was trying to finish up a college degree. Also, interestingly, judging by his latest tweet, apparently he was trying to get a job working for Riot Games. So it seems like he's actually pursuing a path in the gaming industry, which is pretty interesting considering
why do people like, that's the thing, bro. I'm over here like, bro, fuck a college degree, I need to be a YouTuber. Why are people like that got millions of views just disappear? Why did they just stop doing it? Is it because of the hate? Is it something, you know, like that just they give up on? Like, I don't know. If you have like 3 million, even if you're getting 100K views a month or a video, That's still a lot, dude.
Success he's had from YouTube. It's definitely good to see though that it at least looks like he's doing good today. By the way, I want to take a moment to talk about the sponsor of this video. Category animation of 2016 out of drama that you can access. Also a few YouTubers who are part of this kind of edgy category back in 2016. The first to come to mind would be iDubbbz, who has had a pretty interesting transformation over the years, and I'm not gonna lie, kind of a crazy downfall as far as his reputation. iDubbbz created his channel back on August 17th of 2012, and not too long after, he was already gaining some popularity, basically criticizing random people online and mixing his dark, edgy humor into it.
I don't want to get too much detail into about it, but here's a preview.
Yo, what's up, guys? My name's Ricardo.
Eventually, he started some iconic series like the Content Cops, where he would criticize other YouTubers.
That's like OG documentaries, bro. That's like watching like Super Size Me, and they will watch this content cop videos in history channels, bro.
Boxing series where his fans would send some pretty wild things, which I cannot show on camera because it is not 2016 anymore. And then he also had skits and challenge videos with his YouTube friends.
All sorts of good. It has fish in it, and it.
I forgot.
I'm gonna be honest, as a 10-year-old who grew up watching these, iDubbbz was probably not the greatest role model for our generation. Despite the edgy videos and the fact that he had little kids running around the internet.
I think that's basically why my comedy is so satire, bro. He's so
because of him. He was a surprisingly very well respected YouTuber, pulling in millions of views every single video. As time went on, he eventually started to make content that wasn't as edgy, and even then he was still doing pretty decent. However, within the past few years, things started to take a pretty sharp turn. During his YouTube career, he began dating Anissa Joma, who was also another creator. However, later in March of 2020, she would decide to become an OF creator. After that, this guy iDubbbz was getting clowned all across the internet, and judging by his response video to the situation, it seems like fans didn't really like that either. To be honest, even though it is funny, I don't think it's like the biggest deal in the world. However, like others have pointed out, I definitely do think it is a little bit strange that she would be doing that while dating iDubbbz, who is probably making hundreds of thousands if not millions of dollars a year. So that definitely makes it even more strange. In January of 2022, iDubbbz announced that he would be starting Creator Clash, which was a boxing event that featured
OG motherfuckers start these conferences, I guess, these big events. No, they're making bank, I assume.
Big YouTubers across the platform with the goal of raising money for charity. First, it actually went pretty well, raising over $1.3 million for charity, with over 100,000 people paying to watch the event. However, there was one controversy that did come out of that event. A little back before the event, iDubbbz had worked on a video documentary where he recorded his time with the controversial comedian Sam Hyde. The purpose of the documentary was to criticize Sam Hyde, but this kind of backfired on iDubbbz because Sam pretty much took over the documentary, trolling him the entire way through, causing the video to not be finished. Fast forward to the Creator Clash event, iDubbbz and Anissa ultimately blacklisted Sam Hyde from the event, even after he apparently paid over $11,000, which would have been money going to the charity if he didn't get banned. The reason was pretty much because he was too controversial, which some people pointed out to be kind of hypocritical of iDubbbz because iDubbbz isn't exactly the most family friendly himself. To be fair though, Sam Hyde's background is a lot worse than iDubbbz, so I'll leave that up for y'all to decide. When Creator Clash 2 came around, that is when things really started to go south. Not only did they not raise a single dollar for charity at a charity event, they had personally lost $250,000.
For Creator Clash 2, despite it being a fun event, we lost $250,000 on the event. The way that this typically works for anyone who's unaware is that once our expenses are paid off for the event, then we can start paying the charities. Unfortunately, we didn't even reach the break-even point.
As of recently, Creator Clash 3 was in the works after iDubbbz and Anissa stepped down from the event. However, about a month ago, the Creator Clash Twitter announced that would not be happening anymore. Also, I forgot to mention that after iDubbbz and Anissa had already backed out of the event, it was revealed in a random Q&A on the website that apparently this whole time they were taking 34% of the total profit, which is kind of strange that they didn't disclose that before. People also started to notice that on top of the whole OF thing, the dynamic between iDubbbz and Anissa was getting even weirder. I mean, time after time, she would just emasculate and humiliate him in front of everyone.
I just want to ask him if you've always been shitting your pants.
No.
Because since I've known you, you've always had, like, IBS. You've always been shitting yourself.
Yeah, well.
A couple years ago, iDubbbz had uploaded a video basically apologizing for him.
I would have to just crash out after that, bro. I would just dead ass crash out. Oh my God, bro. I don't give a fuck if I doo-dooed in the bed, bro. Don't put my business out there, you stupid. Oh my God.
Harm that his videos had caused from him being edgy. The funny thing is that no one was even mad at him in the first place, so he pretty much just tried canceling himself. A lot of people say that he's a hypocrite, which I do get. At the same time, I don't think it's a bad thing that he wants to mature and better himself. However, at the same time, when his own personality does a complete 180, and then he publicly hates on his fan base that he's responsible for, obviously people are not going to be too happy with that.
I did not like the interactions that I had with fans. There were quite a few human beings that I interacted with that just sucked because I attracted a lot of people who suck, very much like antisocial, weird, basement dwellers.
Not too long ago, iDubbbz had actually brought back his much beloved Content Cop series, only to dedicate it to criticizing his own friends H3H3, while in the same video having a breakdown because he feels sorry for them.
You know, I also see the dynamic of Ethan and Neil, and I'm like, fuck, like,
damn it.
It's just really,
damn it.
It's really hard to be a couple online and see people attacking your partner.
I honestly don't think iDubbbz is some horrible person, probably. Overall though, it's definitely sad to see how iDubbbz's reputation has pretty much been obliterated throughout the years. Similar to iDubbbz, many of y'all probably know his friends and other people in that category of content like Max Mofo, Anything for Views, How to Basic, and Filthy Frank. Max Mofo was like an actual OG of YouTube. Originally, he got popular doing phone call prank videos until eventually doing more challenge and skit videos such as Slip Inside of Death, Deadly Twister, a whole lot of vomit challenges, and Edward Watermelon Hands, where that one iconic iDubbbz clip came from.
Jump down, and then say some fucking gay shit. I'm gay.
However, because of the kind of obscene nature of these videos, once the YouTube 2016 wave of demonetization censorship started.
That, bro, if he put like an NFT on that picture, bro, he would have been a billionaire, bro. That is everywhere.
Started to come around. This forced Max to not really be able to make the kind of content that he was making because they would instantly get demonetized and age restricted.
That's so annoying, bro. Nowadays, bro, they demonetize anything that's like controversial by even the slightest. Bro, just make internet fun again, bro. That's what we need to do. Not make America great again. It's make internet fun again, bro. Everything will be better.
Max to abandoning his main channel and eventually his other channels as well. Not all hope was lost though, because a couple years later, Anything for Views, who was a common member of their videos, had started a podcast called The Cold Ones, with Max joining in as a co-host. To this day, the podcast is still active and doing really well. They even had a reunion with iDubbbz in one of the episodes, where iDubbbz did receive a little bit of criticism. Overall though, I will say it's definitely nice to see that Max and Chad are still doing very successful today. Now, one of the biggest and most iconic YouTubers who were popular around 2016 and in that friend group had to have been Filthy Frank. By now, most of y'all probably know that he has transformed into Joji the musician. However, for the last couple years, he low-key kind of completely went missing, and people are starting to get worried about it. Filthy Frank began posting on his now main channel in 2013 after the success of his previous channel, where he was blowing up doing skits and things like that. The one common thing between all these videos is that in each of them, he's playing some sort of character, whether it's Filthy Frank, Pink Guy, who is probably the most
this is what I feel. Oh, okay, that's a pause moment.
well-known, or whatever other
like Joji or Filthy Frank, like two very successful things. And then same thing happened with Tyler the Creator, where he had Odd Future, and then, you know, now he's Tyler's Creator.
Character he's going with for the day. Often doing some pretty crazy stuff that would probably get your channel strike today. In addition to the videos, he also started using the Pink Eye character to kind of dabble in making music as well, with the Pink Eye music becoming a pretty big success, even dropping an entire album of joke songs. However, with all the success happening, in the background, he was also quietly dropping music under the name Joji. At first, it didn't get a whole lot of attention, but over time, people started catching on and realizing that for a YouTuber, he's actually pretty good. This was also around the time when every YouTuber and their mom wanted to become a rapper. But unlike all the YouTube diss track
oh my god, bro. It's every day, bro. Holy shit. It did its job, but at what cost, bro? It's every day, bro.
That were going around. He continued to make music and gain respect as an actual artist. Even though he was pretty much at his peak in popularity, with the Filthy Frank channel getting millions of views, it became clear that he wanted to use this opportunity that he had with the music where he could be himself and not have to constantly play character. With that being said, in 2017, he would slow down with the videos until eventually releasing the final video on the channel, burying the Filthy Frank character into the ground, and even releasing a novel that ended off the lore that he created in the videos, ultimately giving the channel a final conclusion. 2020. After the end of Filthy Frank, Joji has now gone on tours across the world, even releasing multiple songs that have reached over 1 billion plays. I mean, there's a lot of fans now who only know him because of the music and have no idea who Filthy Frank even is. However, even though Joji is still very popular today, this guy has pretty much completely disappeared for the past 2 years. The last project Joji dropped was all the way in November of 2022.
He's living that
he
artist
has
life,
not released even a single glimpse of music at all. His final post on Twitter was in September of 2023 announcing tour tickets, and the last thing I could find of him at all was like back in May of 2024 where he performed at some show. I even watched this video titled "Where is Joji?" and in conclusion, literally no one knows. There is an account that is still active today which people speculate Joji might be behind because there was a period of time where that was the only account that he followed at one point, but it's 100% speculation whether or not he's still behind that account. Either way though, it's definitely cool to see that Joji was able to become successful both on and outside of YouTube doing what he enjoys. To be honest, he's probably just enjoying his money right now. Now, of course, I cannot talk about those YouTubers I just mentioned.
If you drop like back-to-back banger albums, you have money that you don't know what to do with. You party forever, bro.
Bringing up H3H3 Productions, who as of making this video is actually going through a pretty crazy controversy as we speak. The H3 channel was created back on April 29th of 2011 by both Ethan and Hila Klein. They started getting attraction around 2013 by posting YouTube poop style videos, which were basically humorous edits of random clips. However, eventually they would start posting these reaction type videos, basically making fun of random people on the internet, which would start to blow up their channel. What made their reaction videos different was that they actually provided like more substance and effort into their videos, unlike a lot of typical reaction videos from that time.
Yeah, I love that movie.
And of course, they were also doing skits and other things like that as well.
I need to improve my reaction. That's what I need to do.
Actually though, the typical reaction commentary styled videos began to slow down due to the fact that they didn't think the videos were good enough to post anymore, and also they realized that if they aren't careful, the weight of their videos could literally destroy people's careers, reputations, or even lives. With that being said, not all hope was lost for H3 fans. On April 7th of 2017, they would upload the first episode of the H3H3 podcast, which would become a huge success for them. However, while the podcast was doing well, over the years the main channel would slowly start to become neglected, leading fans to not be very happy about that. Even though the podcast was decent, fans were getting the same enjoyment that they were getting out of their main videos. As time went on over the years, people also started to notice that it wasn't just their content that was changing, but also their personalities. While obviously it's not a bad thing to grow and change as a person, a lot of their core fans were starting to think that maybe it was for the worst. Time after time, Ethan would start to get called out for being hypocritical. One example would be when Ethan was pretty much glazing the infamous YouTuber Leafy is Here, yet just shortly after, he had made a whole video criticizing Leafy's content, saying that he was bullying kids.
Oh, and I almost forgot, he also said I bully kids.
Oh, all he does is make fun of kids?
Okay. Ethan, you sure you want to make this point? You really the same in this matter? You really not a hypocrite with this?
Clean cut? I wouldn't exactly call it clean cut. He's got the hair of a fucking 6-year-old dude with a goddamn shitty toupee.
And there's also many other examples as well.
I don't think Felix is a racist person, but goddamn, he really kind of just was really comfortable using that word. It sucks. It really sucks. It's just a wonderful string of words that really gets you going. Fuck you.
Taking a look at the podcast channel, you can see that over the years it's definitely become more politically focused. While that's not inherently a bad thing, this would set them up for even more controversy down the line. Ethan and Hila Klein are both connected to Israeli heritage, with Hila actually serving in the IDF at one point, causing a bit of concern from some of their fans, especially considering the world events that are going on right now. So yeah, pretty much based off of that and then like several other claims that they have made, a lot of people say that they're defending Israel even when they say that they aren't. As I mentioned earlier, both H3 and iDubbbz had gotten into a pretty big beef recently when iDubbbz had dropped an entire content cop dedicated to them, which brought up their hypocrisy, online behavior, and their political views. Now I will say H3 and Hila were high-key getting harassed, with them getting child protective services called to their house to check in on their kid after a false report stating that their kid was potentially eating dog feces off of the ground, stemming from a rumor caused by some friends of iDubbbz, which iDubbbz did not ever bring up in his content cop. I mean, Ethan and Hila literally had human skulls being sent to their house and had to get investigated by the FBI. I don't know if that's directly related to the situation, but either way, that should obviously not be happening.
One last question. Did you send the skulls?
I didn't send the skulls.
I don't know. I thought the skulls thing was kind of humorous to hear that.
What's crazy though is that they all used to be good friends, with some of H3's most popular videos featuring items in them. To this day, they are still going back and forth, and the chances of them ever rekindling their friendship is not looking too good at the moment. Now, literally, as I was making this video, Ethan Klein had just gotten himself into a not so good type of situation. Twitter users have found Ethan Klein's old Reddit profile named u/pedotroll from 2010. This account promoted H3 YouTube videos, posted about living in Israel and Israeli supremacy, and made several comments as a pro PDF file account. Now, at first, it wasn't 100% confirmed until H3 had released his own statement on it. My friends, I have a terrible confession to make. Yes, it is true. My 15-year-old Reddit account was identified using a doxing website that lists a history of all emails and passwords that have been leaked in illegal data breaches. Yes, my account username Troll made a few bizarre and edgy attempts of being funny. It was common on Reddit 15 years ago to create a thematically named troll account to post silly things from. These troll stories include anecdotes that clearly never happened, including a story that references my own children who were born 10 years later. Further evidence of this is that I was simply self-promoting my YouTube channel while doing these parody posts. I knew I was personally identifiable the whole time. I was trying to be funny so people would look at my account and discover my YouTube channel. I was not ashamed of it then, and I am not ashamed of it now. Embarrassed? Yes. On par with cringing at my old YouTube videos. So yeah, that was basically that. I get that this was 15 years ago.
Wild shit, bro. That's the thing. Why do we act like everybody's so infallible? We've all said some wild shit.
Where people just said whatever because it's funny and edgy. But either way, I still feel like some of the stuff he said was pretty strange. If you've watched YouTube around 2016, you've probably had to witness some of the insane prank channels around the time before most of them got banned. Roman Atwood was one of the most popular YouTubers a while ago, and he is one of the only, if not the only YouTuber I've ever seen to be asked by the FBI to stop uploading videos. Roman had some pretty notable videos back in the day, such as the crazy plastic ball prank, Slept with Vitali's mom prank, stealing people's gas prank, unaliving my kid prank, blowing up my kid prank, flashing children prank, and the list goes on. Roman Atwood's final video on the prank channel would be uploaded in April of 2016 before fully switching to his vlog channel, which became even more successful than his original. However, at the end of 2019, the Atwood family would take a break from the channel, returning next year to post an update where they had a little bit of concerning news to share.
I guess the most important part of this whole video, whatever you take out of this whole video, is that we still technically shouldn't be posting. There's some absolute craziness happening behind the scenes in our lives. We are all healthy.
Since then, he wouldn't make a complete return back to YouTube.
Though, bro, that would be such a weird relationship to be in, bro. You know?
Until January 3rd of 2021, where he uploaded the video Forced Off YouTube Full FBI Story, where he explained what actually happened.
We've been dealing with some extremely scary stalkers. I want you to imagine that you have to have a funeral for somebody that you love. These stalkers threaded a funeral. They've gotten into literally in our vehicles, like shutting our vehicles on and off and powering
Does he
them
have
on
some
and off.
kind of like chewing tobacco in, bro? Because his cheek on this side seems a little bit. Oh, what? Oh, no. Pog. Oh my God. Hold on here. Ha.
We've been dealing with some extremely scary
Yeah, he looks like
stalkers.
he has something
I want you to
right
imagine that you have to have a funeral for somebody that you love. These stalkers threaded a funeral. They've gotten into literally in our vehicles, like shutting our vehicles on and off and powering them on and off and
setting the alarm off while we're just sitting at home with our kids.
Like the alarm in our house. This home, they turned the power off. He literally would say, like, he threatened to like hang our whole family on crosses.
Yeah, so I do not know why someone would ever do that. A little over a year ago, they stopped posting on the vlog channel and created another channel that's almost the exact same style, but more geared towards their older audience. But yeah, as of now, it seems like they're not going through that whole situation anymore, and it looks like they're actually doing pretty good. However, unfortunately, for most of the other prank channels, they did not leave such a wholesome legacy on YouTube. Joey Sounds was a very well-known and also controversial prank channel at the time. He would make these social experiment type videos where most of them seemed crazy but actually weren't that bad. However, over time, with people pushing the limits of pranks to compete with everyone else, Joey had
Some of these names I have not heard in years.
Started to tiptoe into some not so good type of content.
What's up guys, Joey Salads here. And you may have seen on the internet, you were told a lot of black people don't like Trump. And they don't even like his supporters in some cases. So what I did was, I got a car, put some Trump apparel on it, and we're gonna park it in a black neighborhood and see what happens.
15 minutes later.
Now you might be thinking, well damn, they destroyed the car, so obviously they're not right. The catch is that this whole video had been exposed for being completely fake. Someone had recorded the video from above and you could see literally everyone in the crowd watching him film the intro. So yeah, despite what your political views are, you might be able to see why this is kind of problematic. Ironically, since then, he actually did pursue a political career for a small amount of time, and to this day, he is still uploading prank videos despite not pulling in the amount of views he once was. In addition to Joey Salads, you also had some other out-of-pocket prank channels like Prank Invasion, who would pretty much just upload softcore corn for us 10-year-olds who were watching.
I'm not gonna lie, that was all over my feed in like 2015, 2016, bro. A quick game for a quick kiss, dude. That shit was all over my fucking page, bro. My YouTube was covered in oh my god, a quick game for a quick kiss, bro. I forgot. I was like, bro, there's no way this shit is real, bro. I wanted to try it so, but I was like, a quick game for a quick kiss. Holy shit, we were all fucking horn dogs, bro.
Fake was when he did the kissing my sister prank and then his mom. If you take a look now, his channel has been completely wiped off of YouTube, with his final ever appearance being in 2019, where he had given a goodbye to the internet. Creators like SoFlo and Tonio took it even further, doing pranks like the drugging girls in public prank. I think he was actually the pioneer of the gone sexual type videos too. He was also known to literally just steal other YouTubers' videos and re-upload them on Facebook without giving any credit, getting him into a whole lot of controversy. Eventually he got suspended on YouTube, causing him to pretty much stop uploading even after it was over. He would also blow up on TikTok.
But that's the thing. What do they do, bro? That's the thing. What do they do after, like, you kind of just had like this YouTube career that you were making mad money from, and then all of a sudden, do you go back to your 9 to 5? How does this work?
Before also quitting a couple years ago too. Probably one of the worst prank channels during the era had to have been Sam Pepper. He would make game-changing pranks such as the lassoing girls on the street prank, handcuffing himself to girls and not letting them go until they made out with him prank, and the groping random woman on the street prank. So yeah, this dude was literally committing crimes on camera, and unsurprisingly, he would receive several allegations from different women. Y'all might also remember that one time when he pranked his friend by kidnapping him and then doing a fake execution of his best friend in front of him. Within recent years, he's tried to make a comeback doing TikToks and kick streams, which haven't really been working for him. However, there actually were a couple streamers who successfully rebranded into streamers. You might remember YABOIII and FouseyTube back in the day, who both made some pretty interesting prank videos. YABOIII started out by making pretty harmless content, just trolling random people, even starting the in the hood prank trend that was going around. Now this guy is no stranger to getting in legal trouble for random shit. However, there was one incident that pretty much completely ruined his reputation on the internet.
He's overseas.
Exactly what's happening, ma'am. Somebody's outside beating the out of somebody.
On April 12th of 2020, YABOIII would brutally attack a random jogger outside of his house while allegedly being under the influence of something. This would lead him to getting into loads of legal trouble, completely ruining his reputation, and would harm his income with the loss of sponsorships, in addition to the fact that YouTube was already starting to demonetize some of his past content. After slowing down on his channel, eventually he would start to post content that wasn't as controversial, but that wouldn't last too long.
He still came back like twice, bro.
Because he would soon start transitioning into TikTok and Kick, and as y'all know, nothing good ever happens on Kick. He started doing these live
For all my Kick viewers, listen, we're trying, you know, we're trying.
Prank catches that were doing extremely well for him. On the surface, it seems like he's doing a good thing by doing that. However, it became clear that pretty much all of it was really just for personal gain.
You came to meet here, a 50-year-old boy? Don't act like you don't speak any English. Pick a mine. Pick a mine. Click anywhere on the screen. Guys, make sure you use the code VITALI. Don't be a pussy. Sign up right now.
Also, the way they have it set up is that even if they catch the PDF files, they're never actually going to be able to face any legal consequences anyways. However, after an incident that happened during one of the catches, he had to switch to different kinds of content where now he would literally just harass people in the Philippines.
Excuse me, madam, sorry. I'm gonna fucking rob you. I want to give you money. No? Okay. No. Okay, because you got a COVID mask, you liberal.
Eventually, though, this would catch up to him as he was finally arrested earlier this year and is still locked up as we speak. As far as FouseyTube, he's definitely had a pretty rocky road as well. While some of his pranks were interesting, like many other channels, he would also be exposed and even admitted to faking his pranks as well.
But Fousey, you fake shit. How are you gonna talk about fake shit? Exactly.
If anybody knows about fake shit, it's me.
For the next couple years, he moved away from prank videos and started making other types of content, with things going pretty smoothly until July of 2018, where he would organize an event called Hate Dies, Love Arrives. Unfortunately, this would completely...
We all know what happened here. Bro got on a fucking car and thought he was Kanye. Kanye is only Kanye, bro. You can only be Kanye if you drop fucking back-to-back banger albums.
Flop, despite him saying that it would be the next Coachella and even promoting the event as if Drake was going to come and perform there because he manifested it. Only 1,500 people would show up before ultimately ending early because of a bomb threat. And the worst part of it all, Drake did not show up. After they evacuated into a parking lot, Fousey would stand on top of a car speaking to his audience and arguing with none other than Keemstar in the crowd.
You're heating up your breakfast when I'm heating up my dinner.
Oh, nah, that shit ain't it, bro. That shit ain't it, bro. That shit ain't it. Wait, hold on.
Fousey entered his boxing arc, where unfortunately he had lost against Deji, and after that he would start his live streaming arc where things were about to get 1,000 times worse. Every single day I would see new clips of Fousey absolutely crashing out and having these breakdowns, which is why people started tuning into these streams, causing him to do even more crazy things to keep the attention going.
I might have to have a fucking
in these streams, he would have
breakdown.
mental breakdowns, he would assault people on camera, fire his employees on the spot, and even get himself arrested on camera, leading him to be sent to a mental institution for a little bit. There was one incident that happened where on stream he would flirt with this random girl at an airport that was clearly drunk, and after her sharing her story about how she was a victim of trafficking, Fousey flipped the camera around for like 20 minutes before coming back and saying that he joined the Mile High Club with her in the bathroom.
Why? He's gotta have his teeth are so white, bro. I'm sorry. I hate veneers. Maybe one day I'll get them out. I'm not a veneer guy, bro. It just makes your whole fucking 32 teeth so bright. It's not needing to be that fucking
the
bright.
Mile High Club. And I know it doesn't count as the Mile High Club because I was in the airport, but I still joined it.
After seeing the backlash from the chat, he would instantly start to have a breakdown saying how bad of a person he was.
I'm not a good person.
But yeah, that was definitely a strange situation that made people lose even more respect for him. Since then, he has gotten banned multiple times and has continued to go on these episodes. Earlier in March, he did a live stream marathon where he would fast for 30 days, starting a shift in content more geared towards lifestyle and self-improvement type videos.
That's the crazy part. He just randomly gets fucking jacked and then he's back on the fucking, grind.
Me personally, I thought this was great to see him make content like this, but after reading some comments, it seems like not everyone's happy yet. It turns out that Fousey had raised $15,000 for charity, and as far as I'm aware, based on his last update, this money was still not sent to a single charity, despite the fact that it was supposed to go to one immediately after the money was raised.
The original plan was to donate it to charity right when we finished, but then coming out of the fast, something felt off. I didn't want to just click a button, donate to one of these organizations.
He looks like that one guy that used to dance, bro, on fucking Vine that used to like have he looks exactly like him, bro.
I decided I wanted to do it the right way.
So yeah, while it is good to see a change in content and character, it's kind of unclear how authentic
is that a real beard really though? That's a lot of
channels,
like...
There were also some other huge channels that y'all might remember as well. Casey Neistat was undoubtedly the most popular vlogging channel, who I think had the most popular vlogging
he doesn't make
series
videos
in
anymore?
all of YouTube history. Even though vlogs on YouTube aren't as popular as they used to be, for the past 15 years, Casey has been consistently dropping videos and they're still doing pretty good today. The only real controversy he's been in was in the past few years, where he had worked on a documentary covering David Dobrik, an actual controversial creator with many accusations against him and his team. However, to this day, Casey has still not released a documentary because he wanted to find a distributor to publish the video first, which never ended up happening, and leading some people to lose respect for him after that situation, because there probably was a lot of revealing information about David Dobrik's character in that documentary. Ricegum was another one of the most popular YouTubers that had blown up around 2016. At first, he pretty much got his success by bullying kids on the internet, which seemed to be a common theme at the time. Eventually, he started making some other content like vlogs, diss tracks, and of course, you can't forget the 1 kill equals remove one piece of clothing videos. In 2019, he faced a controversy for basically promoting a mystery box gambling website to his audience full of kids, which he then released probably the worst response video for.
You guys already saw a money-hungry side of me, and it is what it is, and there's nothing I can really do but say sorry and give you these Amazon gift cards. So I'm sorry.
sorry. It just wouldn't happen again. Amazon codes, $10 to $20, just a little giveaway. It's the least I can do after, you know, this, you know.
In 2021, RiceGum and some other creators would promote a charity crypto scam called Save the Kids. He claimed that he didn't profit from that, but that's still not really a good look. Eventually, RiceGum had started to slow down posting content, but later in 2023, tragically, he would post a video announcing the stillbirth of him and his girlfriend's child. Not long after, he would actually make a brief comeback to the internet by signing with Rumble and streaming on their platform for almost a year until deciding to retire, and since then having another kid. Now lastly, I want to talk about some of the commentary channels.
Rumble motherfuckers just dipped off the freaking earth, bruh. They were supposed to be the next big thing, right? Rumble was supposed to be like kick before kick, but then Rumble just died off. What happened? Has anybody even watched Rumble?
It's probably the highlight of the 2016 YouTube scene. Grade A Andre is a YouTuber who I'm sure a lot of y'all have probably completely forgotten about. He started out by making these low quality animation type videos covering random topics.
And really quickly, let's just have a look at these. This is a red squirrel, this is a red fox, and this is a red panda. What do you spot wrong here? Yeah, exactly, right? They're not fucking red at all, are they? They're all orange! How did you guys not spot that?
Eventually, though, he started covering more drama-related stuff, and he was
everybody
probably
just fucking comes to drama and politics when everything dries up. That's the problem, bro. Drama and politics got that instant crack cocaine of views, bro.
However, there would be a couple hiccups which kind of made people question his videos. The first was the fact that he would constantly make fun of and criticize other YouTubers, but when people did the same to him, he didn't take it very well, leading some people to call him out for being hypocritical. Another hiccup would be when in a video, Grade A had accused Keemstar of being a PDF file because of an old live stream where a 15-year-old girl had appeared on it naked with signs covering herself saying, "I love Keemstar." While yes, a girl did appear on the stream doing that, there was absolutely no evidence of her being 15, with Keemstar himself saying that she was known to be 19 at the time.
According to her, and according to everybody, and according to her boyfriend, she was 19 years of age.
To be fair, Keemstar has done the same thing to other people multiple times. Either way, I think it's kind of careless to tell millions of people that someone's a PDF file without providing any proof at all. Over time, Grade A would go on random hiatuses and come back, with the biggest gap being nearly 4 years between uploads. As of now, he's actually still somewhat active and doing pretty well on YouTube, despite not being as popular as he once was.
Bro, that's the thing. How much money are they really making? Are they surviving, or do they just like have a big channel, work, and then leave? You know, are they just doing this when they have like their little creative outbursts, or are they making so much money they can just live off of it without having to make constant money, you know?
Around 2016. And he was probably one of the only creators in this video to face a life-ruining allegation and somehow come out of it still being well respected. Originally, he started out by posting these MLG edit type videos until eventually switching to commentary type content when that started becoming popular. People would criticize him for being a Leafy clone, which is kind of true, but unlike Leafy, his channel would actually evolve, and nowadays he makes more video essay styled content on random subjects, mainly games, in addition to the modern commentary type videos that go on a second channel. Now, like most other YouTubers, he has also faced a couple controversies. The first being multiple instances of drama between him and Keemstar.
Why is Keemstar beefing? I think he's the problem.
Being a PDF file, as well as Keemstar having a freak out because Pyro gave a small suggestion to him.
No, you make a fucking video criticizing me. All right, bro, you're a fake piece of shit, and if you fucking swing at me, I'm gonna swing much harder back.
I simply suggested you add a disclaimer to avoid confused viewers to blindly hate on someone's channel.
There was also another time where Pyro had shouted out this small YouTuber known as Lieutenant Corbis.
An 11-year-old girl has literally made a commentary on how to be original on YouTube. But you know the worst thing is? It's actually really fucking good.
It's just like a big cluster butt fuck nothing. Some good shit. I'm a pussy.
Bro, why the fuck is she cussing so much? Where is her parents? Why is she cussing so much? Damn.
Just a million subscribers. However, this would backfire as she would switch up on Pyro, calling him a coward because of another situation. She had been investigated by the police because of her videos, and then she would later get banned off of YouTube and Discord due to some not so friendly comments about pretty much every group of people you could possibly imagine.
Damn.
To 2020, Pyro would then
holy shit, bro. What the fuck, bro? That 9-year-old, 10-year-old, holy shit. Why the fuck is she so racist and homophobic.
Serious allegations yet. When allegations would come out about Pyro grooming a 15-year-old when he was 19. So in these allegations, messages were leaked between the two having inappropriate conversations while doing some interesting roleplay. Things were not looking great for Pyro as he had everyone turning against him until he made a response video that was actually pretty decent. In the response, he debunked the whole grooming part of the situation, with the alleged victim actually admitting in an interview that he didn't even really know what grooming meant. Pyro also stated that yeah, the messages did happen, but he also had no idea that the person was 15. I think the lesson here is that you should always check for age when you're doing furry roleplay with someone. But after that response, people kind of ignored the whole situation and quickly forgave him. And since then, he's continued to upload content that still does good to this day. As an honorable mention I actually saw while scrolling through Twitter, we got this guy who I'm sure a lot of y'all remember. People were hating on this guy back then, but what's crazy is that he was kind of low-key right this entire time, because some of these YouTubers were legit bullying little kids, which is kind of crazy. Nowadays, this guy is an actual adult. I think he's probably my age now. And the craziest part of it all is that he actually makes music that isn't too bad now. Now, finally, for this last YouTuber, we have Leafy is here, who is probably one of the most iconic
beefy,
YouTubers.
bro. I was watching his shit through fucking high school like it was the damn news, bro. I was all about that drama, bro.
Of the 2016 era. Leafy had originally started blowing up on YouTube after posting commentary videos over gameplay, often with CSGO surfing footage behind him.
I wanted to do
this
this
he
so
covered
bad,
all sorts of
but I was
topics
so
and
bad at
people that he
surfing.
thought were cringe, slowly building a cult fan base being called the Reptilian Army. Now, unfortunately, Leafy's Reptilian Army would soon get out of hand when they started attacking basically anyone that Leafy would criticize. This becomes even more of an issue when you have Leafy making videos attacking kids, people with special needs, and anyone else considered cringe at the time. One example would be with someone named Tommy NC 2010, who is autistic and made a video that is cringe, but ultimately was doing a good deed for someone.
I see this woman pulling out of her car, and I ran so fast. I got to the top of her car as she was pulling out, and I handed her eggs. Isn't that right, ma'am?
It is. Thank you. I didn't realize I put eggs on top of the car. I appreciate that very much.
Yes, you know, and the thing is, folks,
Leafy would then make a video going pretty
Awkwardly
harsh on this
just
guy.
recorded
leaving
them.
tons
She's
of his
like, all right, I'll go about my day now. Thank you very much.
fans to spam hate on Tommy's channel. Tommy then uploaded a video titled, "I am getting death threats, Leafy is here. Why?"
I'm having a difficult time right now because some people are threatening my life.
Damn, that's mean.
Threatening my family.
Leafy did make an apology video where he basically thanks his fans for supporting him like 70% of the video, and then at the end was like, yeah, I didn't know he was autistic, my bad. So me personally, I'm not really buying into that. Now this was just one out of several times where he would just bully people on the internet, even just straight up attacking people's appearances in some cases.
Hey guys, Wet Movie 1 back here again.
Okay, I'm sorry, but what happened to this guy's face?
For a while, Leafy was actually very liked and well respected. Even as a kid, I thought these videos were like the funniest shit ever. However, public opinion started to shift on Leafy once other well-respected YouTubers gave a shot at criticizing Leafy himself. YouTubers like iDubbbz, H3, Keemstar, and a lot of other people all took turns calling out Leafy. While this alone wouldn't hurt his channel in any way, the YouTube apocalypse would. Around 2016 to 2017, YouTube started cracking down on edgy content, causing a mass wave of demonetization for many creators at the time, including Leafy. With this being said, Leafy had continued to upload until late 2017, where he would pretty much disappear off the internet entirely.
My girlfriend started an OnlyFans account, and I think all of it is cool. Yeah, I know.
Dude, you're a fucking cuck.
With the iDubbbz OF girlfriend situation, this would call for the return of Leafy in 2020, marking a comeback on YouTube that would last for quite a bit. Things would actually go pretty smoothly until he had gone into a beef with none other than Pokimane, where he would upload countless videos on her, or even just using her as clickbait for other videos. However, on August 20th of 2020, everything would change, as Leafy's channel would be suddenly taken down without any warning at all.
Bro, that's the crazy part, bro. They can take down your whole channel, bro. She's like the darling of YouTube and social media, right? Like around that time, you can't really, you know.
Pokimane's past with taking down videos that talk about her negatively at all. A lot of people assumed it was because of her. However, she did state that she had nothing to do with it. I will say that even though I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Leafy and his actions, I personally don't think that YouTube should just terminate someone's channel instantly. If anything, they should have just given him a warning because it was kind of out of nowhere. He did try returning on Twitch before getting banned. He joined Storyfire, which is like a failed YouTube competitor, so that didn't work out. He even tried making some new YouTube accounts, which all got terminated as well. In 2023, he would would drop the first picture we've seen of him in a while, and yeah. He also somehow got signed to Rumble, which actually turned out pretty successful for him, even hitting over 10,000 at one point. After getting his Twitter account back, he would then go on to say some not so nice things about trans and gay people, getting suspended from Twitter, which is kind of impressive. And really the last we've seen of him was some Instagram posts from a while ago. But yeah, honestly, I'm not too sure if he's ever going to come back or not. Let me know what YouTubers.
Damn, bro, that low-key hurts because like these guys, obviously they were as crazy as they were like the childhood, you know, they were like the high school childhood.
Watching 2016, because I know there's a lot of them that I didn't get to cover.
Yeah.
Also, we just hit 50,000 subscribers, so
hey,
I just
good shit. Hey, good shit. Keep it going, brother. Keep it going. You're at 53 now. I appreciate you. W video. Look, chat. Look, it's 11:11. Make a wish. Hey, look, that was a lot. It brought back nostalgia. It brought back a lot of vibes from, you know, back when I used to watch all these channels, all these beautiful, beautiful channels, bro. Leafy is beefy for the longest when I was in high school, bro. I would get home, put on the video, and I would like binge watch this shit, dude. Pause. But I hope you enjoyed the fucking video. It's late at night. We got to get up for work and get to fucking grinding tomorrow. Second day in the month, you know, first of the month today. Crazy, chat. Crazy. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, hit the notification, and get you a good hydration drink. And good night.